So this one's going to be about Starbucks and Howard Schultz and how he was able to build that 100 billion company. Is it 100 billion? It's 100 billion. Didn't know that. It's quite a lot. But as always, more after the intro. As every day. Because we're doing this, I'm doing this every day. We're going through this every day. But yeah, I'm pumped. And with that being said, hello and welcome back to the next episode of the Self-Development with Tactics podcast. And before I actually forget to mention, this particular podcast is also just available as a podcast. This video that you're just seeing there, if you're on YouTube, it is also available as an audio-only version, which means that you can just listen to it, which means that it might be a little bit of a more effective way for you to consume it. Because you can do something simultaneously. You could be just going for a walk. You could be walking your dog. You could be cooking. You could be tidying up your room. You could be doing so many different things that I guess you wouldn't be able to actually do when you're sitting here, watching this episode on YouTube while you're just actually sitting on your chair and staring into your screen. I guess this is not really the most effective or efficient way to do that. I guess, at least at my point of view. But yeah, so if you would like to just do that, if you like to listen to it as a podcast, please go down into the description and check out the link there. Everything should be there. And if it is not there, please hit me up on social media because this should be linked somewhere. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to send you the link personally. But yeah, as I said before the intro, we are going through an article from the CNBC Make It, or CNBC.com site actually, or CNBC Make It site, on how Howard Schultz was able to, as they say, conquer his self-doubt to build Starbucks into a 100 billion company. I didn't actually know that. I didn't actually know that Starbucks is such a big company. I knew that it is a big company, but I didn't knew that it was just such a big one. I don't know, stock price. The funny thing is, the stock price is only $77 or euros, as I'm seeing there, per stock, which is really not that bad. Starbucks Corporation is an American coffee company and coffee house chain. Starbucks was founded in Seattle in Washington in 1971. As of early 2019, the company operates over 30,000 locations worldwide, which is a lot. Headquarters are in Seattle, Washington, and the founders are Gordon Boker, Jerry Baldwin. I know Jerry Baldwin somehow, but I don't know, and Seth Siegel. Starbucks is the third largest fast food restaurant chain by number of locations in the world. The other ones, I guess, are McDonald's and maybe, I wouldn't say KFC. Would actually be interesting what the other ones are. No. Okay, never mind. This is Starbucks. I think they're actually also having a pretty nice social media strategy. I assume at least, because, by what I'm seeing right here, looks pretty great, looks pretty fresh, looks really diversified. They're having just a lot of views. Let's actually see this video. Looks also pretty cool. I think it's actually pretty cool. They're also having one IGTV video, but I actually wanted to see when it is from. But yeah, never mind. Let's actually see what Howard Schultz did, to be able to do that. So American coffee giant Starbucks chairman Howard Schultz smiles at his coffee shop in Tokyo in June 2006. So it's actually June 26, in 2002. Schultz said that Starbucks would expand rapidly in Japan, targeting 1,000 stores in 6 years during an interview by AFP. Despite having a net worth of more than $4 billion and being the driving force behind Starbucks for more than 3 decades, Howard Schultz says he's just an average Joe like you. I don't have an MBA and I didn't go to an Ivy League school, Schultz says or tells Masterclass.com in 13-part series Teaching Business Leadership. I'm just a regular person, just like you, who had a dream to try and build a great, enduring company. Today, Starbucks has a market cap of over $100 billion. Schultz, who grew up poor and lived in public housing in Brooklyn in New York, bought the Seattle Coffee franchise in 1987 for $3.8 million after finding investors, including Bill Gates' dad. Funny thing. The funny thing is, on the other hand, is Bill Gates' dad having a lot of money? I assume, of course, that Bill Gates gave them some money. Of course, I would do as well. I would actually. The thing is, I don't know. I've got so much money. Over the course of my fucking life from my parents, I think I would definitely just give something back to them. Even though like money wouldn't. The thing is, money isn't that important, but I would actually try to support them with, especially with their retirement, I guess, when they are retiring and if they are just in need of some money, or if they just need, like, there are a lot of things that could be happening. Like sometimes things break and sometimes things, I don't know, sometimes you just need new things, like, I don't know, just some surgery and whatnot, which could be getting expensive through some reasons, even though we're having healthcare here. But yeah, I would actually like to give them back something, because I kind of have the feeling that I just should and I need to and I want to, to kind of, to actually kind of, is it subsidize the cost that I made, or the money that I consumed from them, those things, like, what I mean. Like, I do just want to give them back what they have invested into me, quite, and maybe even more. I kind of just want them to have a pretty great life, and I would also do it with my siblings as well. Even though I don't know if I would necessarily do it with my kids. If I would have a lot of money, which, not gonna say anything, not gonna say anything there. But if I'm going to have a lot of money, then I think I wouldn't really give a lot of money to my children. I wouldn't really do that. And I would really try to kind of raise them up as really regular children and people and whatnot. Because I don't know, I really don't want them to just be some shitty ass motherfuckers that are just, I don't know. I think you know what I mean. Yeah. I think it's not the best thing to do. Also because I don't know if unless I'm able, which is something that I'm really then trying to do, teach them how they should be using the money. But I wouldn't really kind of, I wouldn't really, I wouldn't really give them money to just do their things. I might be, is it lending? I think it's lending. Lending the money to them, so that they are actually having to pay that back when they have just done that. But I wouldn't just give it to them, I guess. I wouldn't really do that. But yeah, I guess at least. It's quite some time until then, I assume. To help him out. He grew the company from 11 stores to more than 3,500 locations in over 75 countries. Schultz, 66, who now serves as the Starbucks chairman, emerges after retiring as executive chairman in June of 2019, says the only difference between him and most people is that he thought of self-doubt and jumped in head first. He says it's okay to have self-doubt, which totally is, unless it is actually bothering you by just not letting you do what you want to do because you're having self-doubt. And then it is definitely not something pretty great. But your ability to succeed, raise money, or even attract the right people at times. But under no circumstance can you ever have any self-doubt about your commitment and conviction to do what you set out to do, which for him was building Starbucks into an international brand. Schultz goes on to say that there will be no magical moment, time or formula that will help you start your venture. You just have to do it with great discipline and thoughtfulness. There is no single textbook, there is no mentor, and there is no primary tool to get you to jump in that pool other than your own courage and conviction of the idea this moment in time for you and your family, he tells masterclass.com. And I would say so as well. It should really come out of your soul or from your inner belief system that you're willing to do something. Like, it's the exact same case for me. I'm really willing to build what I'm just doing right here. I really want to build it to just being successful in terms of like, I don't know what success actually is in this case for me. I don't know, like, but I do just want to get it to something. I do just really want to do that, and I really don't think that I would actually stop until I've actually achieved that. Of course, there are some days, like I think it was today or yesterday, where I just felt like, well, it's not doing that well, because it is not doing that well. It really is not. I'm not having a lot of watch time. I'm not having a lot of views. I'm not having a lot of followers on any social media page, and I'm not desperately, but I'm really trying to figure out how I could produce content that is seen and that is willing to be seen. And yeah, this is what I'm trying to do. And on some days, of course, it's going to be a little bit bad. It's going to be a little bit sad, and it's going to be not that easy. It's going to be pretty difficult to just stay on track, to just do what you're doing, to just keep doing what you started to do, and keep persisting actually. And on some days it's going to be easy because everything is going well, everything is doing well, and you're seeing those little, small, medium, or even just really big victories and wins that are just going to really boost your motivation, also going to just fill up your energy levels as well. But yeah, I really hope that I'm going to stick with it. I really, really do hope that I'm going to do that. Schultz credits his success with Starbucks to his fierce determination and unwavering persistence. I willed it to happen, Schultz writes in his memoir. Pour your heart into it. I took my life in my hands, learned from anyone I could, grabbed what opportunity I could, and molded my success step by step. Schultz does knowledge that entrepreneurship isn't for everyone, but he still encourages people to live life to the fullest and not have any regrets, which is definitely very, very important. You've got to find your position in life, but if entrepreneurship is in your blood and you only know if it is, then jump into the pool. And only you know if it is, then jump into the pool. And I would say so as well. If you clearly notice that something is the right thing for you to do, then you should also be doing it for a living or trying to make it into a living. But the problem there is that entrepreneurship is something that's very trendy at this point in time. I, by the way, wouldn't necessarily say that I'm an entrepreneur, even though you could somehow say that having your own shit in terms of YouTube channel, podcast, those things might be some sort of entrepreneurial. I wouldn't actually say so. This is not how I think about those things. I think that, is it self-employment? I wouldn't say so as well. It's just the thing that I'm doing, basically, I guess, I would say. I would argue. But I'm not an entrepreneur. Like, I'm not having a business, and I do not even... I somehow intend and think about having my own business, it's probably going to be about design, it's probably going to be graphic design, and it's just in such a region, such a thing, because this is also one of my passions. This is also something that I really like to do. But I don't know, like the podcast is also something, and also the YouTube videos and the other content that I'm able and that I'm putting out, they are also really, really, really important to me, and I like to do them, and why shouldn't I then do it if it is fun for me? But let's actually have a look at his Wikipedia page and what it says about him, because this would maybe be also quite interesting to you. But I guess I would actually move into this section because it could be a little bit better. And yeah, it is indeed a little bit better. It's a little bit nicer. No, this is a little bit too far. That's fine. That's fine. So Howard D. Schultz, I hope he's born like he's called like that. Born July the 19th, 1953, is an American businessman and billionaire. He was chairman and chief executive of Starbucks from 1986 to 2000, and again from 2008 to 2017, as well as its executive chairman from 2017 to 2018. He's a former owner of the Seattle Supersonics and was a member of the board of directors at Square Inc. Wow. In 1998, Schultz co-founded Maveron, an investment group with Dan Levitan. He was named by Forbes in 2016 as the 232nd richest person in the United States with a net worth of $3.7 billion as of April 2019. I gotta have to say, I assume that his net worth wasn't as big in 2016 as it is now, but being the number 200, what was it? 232, or actually 231 people are richer than him. You have to think about it. You really have to think about it. There are really a lot of people that are wealthier than 3.7 billion. Over 200 people. It's really a lot. It really is a lot. Schultz registered or resigned as the chief executive of Starbucks and became executive chairman in April 2017. He was succeeded as CEO by Kevin Johnson. Schultz retired as executive chairman in June 2018, then becoming chairman emeritus, which is something I don't know of the company. Long known for his outspoken political views, Schultz announced in January 2019 that he was exploring a run in the 2020 United States presidential elections as an independent candidate. That's quite interesting. However, in June 2019, he announced he was temporarily suspending his presidential bid, citing health concerns. In September 2019, he officially abandoned plans to run, setting the risk of re-electing Donald Trump. I see. He is having 2 children, and I don't know, what is a chairman emeritus? I do just have to look that up, because this is interesting. Nah, fuck you. Just a second, please. Look up chairman emeritus. What the fuck? There is some YouTube video that's popping up. No, I don't want to see that. Let's actually Google it. What is the meaning of chairman emeritus? Emeritus, in its current usage, is an adjective used to designate a retired chairperson. In some cases, the term is conferred automatically upon all persons who retire at a given rank, but in others, it remains a mark of distinguished service awarded only to a few on retirement. It is also used when a person of distinction in a profession retires or hands over the position, enabling their work or their former rank to be retained in their title. For example, Professor Emeritus. The term emeritus does not necessarily signify that a person has relinquished all the duties of their former position, and they may continue to exercise some of them. Sounds great. Sounds interesting. Sounds cool. Let's see. Early life and education. Schultz was born to a Jewish family. I always hate it when they have to point it out. I always hate it. Nobody fucking gives a fuck. Nobody would actually be okay, he was born into a Muslim or into a Christian family. Or at least it bothers me, because there's going to be assumptions. You know what I'm talking about. There's going to be assumptions. There's going to be thoughts. There's going to be those things. It really pisses me off. Not that they're just mentioning that, because that's fine. Of course that's fine. But people are going to just mention something. People are going to say something. But yeah. Something is particularly bad for me, I guess, just because I'm living in Austria, because we are having the history and those things. But yeah, you get it. You get the thing. The son of Elaine Lederman and her husband, ex-United States Army soldier and then truck driver Fred Schultz. His parental great-grandfather came to the United States in 1992 from Belz, a town on Austro-Hungarian Empire territory that is now a part of Ukraine. Yeah, Austro-Hungarian. This is where I'm living. Well, I'm living in Austria, but yeah, you get what I'm talking about. With his younger sister Ronnie and brother Michael, he grew up in the Carnegie Bayview Houses of the New York City Housing Authority. He went to Canarsie High School, from which he graduated in 1971. Schultz played high school football and was invited to Northern Michigan University to compete for a football scholarship. He was not good enough to be quarterback and didn't want to play another position. He paid for college with governmental loans and money earned from part-time jobs. He was the first person in his family to go to college, a member of the Theta Lambda chapter of Tau Kappa Epsilon. Schultz received his bachelor's degrees in speech communication in 1975. Speech communication, which I assume makes him a good speaker. I guess. I don't know. Maybe we are going to ditch the news. Maybe not. Maybe we are not going to ditch the news. But yeah, I don't know. Let's see if there is a Quora question that is particularly interesting to me, to you, to somebody, to whatever. Let's see. It's loading. Why are logos becoming flat? Been talking about it. Not something that I'm willing. Questions for you. Why is it so hard to stay focused on reading? I would say it is only really tough if you're either reading something that you don't like to read, or you just don't like to read in general. I would say these are just one of the main reasons why it wouldn't be that easy for you to read things. I guess, at least. I don't know, but I guess. These are my assumptions. These are my thoughts. Something else. Isn't there something? Where can I work with a BFA in graphic design? Is it a Bachelor of Arts? I don't know. What is the best way to learn design in Photoshop? To just do it and watch videos on YouTube and watch tutorials or just look for tutorials, because there's a lot of articles that are just tutorials in the end, and they're pretty great. They're pretty good. I like them because it's a great way to just have some step-to-step things, or step after step, or step-to-step, whatever kind of tutorials. It is pretty nice to then just learn things and learn how to use Photoshop and learn how to design things. But I wouldn't necessarily say that you should just consider Photoshop as a way to design, because you can use just any form of software, but it really then in the end comes up to what you're doing. Like, you do just also need some theory. It's also pretty important, but most of all you need practice. You just need to do the design part. You need just do the design. Is GIMP a good program to design on? The thing is, it really doesn't come up to what software you're using. It's more like how good you are. You could be using Photoshop but still be really shitty at it, and it's gonna just be fucked up design and bad design. But if you're a good designer, then it's going to be good. It's gonna be great. But yeah, what is the optimal amount of sleep for an adult? People say it's 8 hours. I've heard that. Seems to be the case. It also seems to be kind of, I don't know. I think you should definitely listen to your body. If your body's saying that you just need more sleep, then you need more sleep and or recovery. Maybe it is only for a particular amount of time that you need this amount of sleep, but maybe it's also going to be forever. Who knows? But let's actually see what the news say. Because I haven't had a look at the science news. Like, technology news is all about Galaxy 10, Note 10, Pixel 4. Not so much about iPhone, to be honest. But yeah, let's see what science says. Science says, like Simon says, first all-female spacewalk is a symbolic moment for the NSA. Earth-like exoplanets may be common in the universe, study suggests. NASA eyeing inflatable space lodges for Moon, Mars, and beyond. See NASA's Curiosity rover dig like a dog in the Mars and sand. Maybe, yeah, let's actually see it, because I want to watch it. I do hope that I'm not getting fucked for showing this. I probably will, but I'm not quite sure. Can I enlarge an image? I actually don't want to enlarge an image, but I want to have the video. But it's pretty interesting, to be honest. No. Never mind. Never ever mind. There it is. By playing this video, you agreed to Twitter's use of cookies. Yeah, okay, just use my data. It's fine. It's a GIF, actually. That's it. It's a GIF. Like a second one. A Twitter user tweeted a GIF showing the wheel in action like it's planning to bury a bone in that spot. Yeah, okay, this is interesting. It's cool. Thanks a lot for that. But yeah, I do think that this is just going to be the end of the video, you know? Because I do not want to unnecessarily stretch it out to years of content and whatnot. So this is just going to be the end of the episode. But yeah, I wish you the best health, of happiness, and also success. And I also hope that you're going to remind yourself on you're going to be remembered, which basically means your legacy, because we can totally stimulate that and or manipulate that by, let's say, just being a nice person and then being also remembered as a nice person, which is a pretty good strategy and a pretty good thing to do. But we're 7.7 billion people on this planet. Not everyone's going to like you. And there's maybe even going to be some people that dislike you or even hate you, because it is what it is. But yeah, 3 other questions that I hope that you're going to ask yourself are: why are you here? What are you trying to change? And what is bothering you the most? Those 3 questions are hopefully going to show you your purpose in life, and maybe even some business ideas, or just both in the end, maybe as well. And business ideas, because people and or companies often started with having a solution or finding a solution for a common problem or something that the founders really pissed off. But yeah, this is what it's going to be about. I'm gonna see you the next time, hopefully. Therefore, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, and also please subscribe to the podcast so never miss out on any good information and or value here. And yeah, I'll see you the next time.